Hey there, my name is Beck, and the Rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. So I was surfing the interwebs over the morning, as one does, see what's going on, And this article caught my eye from Screen Rant. Now, Screen Rant traditionally is a very, very, very pro current era of Doctor Who. You know, there's this bizarre axis, you know, where people think if you don't like this, or at least thought, that if you don't like this era of Doctor Who, then you have to love the current president of the United States or the current government in England, and that makes you an evil Islamophobe, and they don't want to be that. So this era has been getting a pass left, right, and centre. You know, from basically all the media outlets. In fact, so much so that in the first season, when that started, which I really wanted to like, it. When Arachnids in the UK came on, I was like, oh my god, that's awful. That's just terrible on so many levels. There was no social media that I could safely say that offensive opinion in, and thus, you know, I found Gary from Nerdrotic's channel. And I found the Phantom Menace, and that's basically how I ended up, with making this channel. So so they basically created a new outlet because I think people just want to talk about this stuff. Fine. So Screen Rant has always been on that side of the aisle, but recently they've been not so complimentary. I think since the end of season 12, they've been not so complimentary. There's been a couple of articles that have been critical of it, and I think they see, you know, they want to get people to click on their articles, and there's just not enough interest in just doing relentlessly pro, so they're peppering in some anti ones as well. So yeah, I came across this article, the 10 worst things the 13th Doctor has done. I call it the Jodie Doctor has done, because I don't consider this the 13th Doctor. I am cauterizing this from my my headcanon. Absolutely, because it's so bad. It's so bad, and it really intends, I believe, to make fundamental changes within Doctor Who, which will, I think, just damage the character, damage the program. You know, the whole like timeless children thing, where you have like an infinite amount of Doctors. Firstly, if you change it from being like 12 people to like hundreds of people, 1,000, infinite, like everybody, you know, if everybody is a Doctor, then being the Doctor is not that special anymore, is it? It like dilutes it. But what they really want to do is dilute that thing they think in 2020 is a very problematic, in that he's very white and male, and he has been since 1963. So they're going to be like, the plan, as I understand it, is to pepper the timeless children of which will be anything other than white and male. Okay, anyway, like in between all the regenerations. I don't know how they're going to do it, know how it can work, but if you ask me, but when the rumours about timeless children started circulating, that there's going to be, and Dr. Ruth, you know, you're going to have a pre-Hartnell Doctor with a police box TARDIS, you know, like, and we all like, well, what? That doesn't make any sense. How are they going to do that? Well, it's the same thing. So anyway, but yeah, we're going to be reading this article, which again, breathtakingly is critical of this Doctor. But I really want to hear what in their opinion, what are the 10 worst things this Doctor has done so far? Because I keeping it to 10 is going to be pretty hard. But before we get there, though, I have an awesome competition running this week. So I'm going to ask you guys, can you like the movie? Can you like this video? Can you movie? I can't believe what you're doing. Can you like this video? Could you share the video? But most importantly, can you subscribe? Can you hit that subscribe button? That'll be fantastic. Thank you very much. I am extremely grateful. I really am. I keep saying it, but I really genuinely am. I got ongoing competitions that you can enter if you subscribe. Yeah, I think bit of brain fart trying to think the name of the word there. Now, this one has been so insanely popular. I'm offering a backup prize, like a consolation prize for anybody who doesn't win. This has honestly been my most popular. I'm going to tell you what the consolation prize is. But the prize, for one lucky winner, they're going to get this Doctor Who comics bundle, which has Dalek Killer, Abslom Dalek Killer, Steve Dillon, and David Lloyd to the art. Absolutely wonderful. Really, really wonderful. You get this collection called the Mark of Mandragona. It's from 91. So this was when Doctor Who magazine comics was charting their own course of for a future Doctor, because there was nothing else going on. I don't even think the New Adventures have started yet. We have this thing, the Mark of Mandragona, not Mark of Mandragona, was it Polly the Glot? Polly the Glot. This is Colin Baker's first strips for the Sixth Doctor. This is really definitive Doctor Who comics in my mind as well. Yeah, I got a definitive Doctor Who comics because that's the ones I read, when I was like 13 or 14. I was like, yeah, I love this. Then we got the 10th Doctor and Martha strips. And finally, we got this wonderful magazine called Vworp Vworp, which tells you everything you want to know about Doctor Who. About Doctor Who comics, I should say. Not everything you want to know about Doctor Who. I mean, listen, do you see all the books I got back there? Most of them do try and do that, and most of them fail. So yeah. Subscribe to the channel, and in the comments leave the hashtag of Vworp Vworp. And anybody doesn't win and is upset, there is a consolation prize. I will send you a digital copy of a comic book featuring the Second Doctor, or at least none of these people are named because it's very out of license. The Second Doctor, Emma Peel, James Bond, a monkey in a spacesuit, and the Black Slab from 2001, working together in one. And the artwork is beautiful. The artwork is so good by a guy called Dominic Radcho. Working together in one supergroup, defending the 1960s from threats beyond reality. I'll give this to you for free, a digital copy, if you feel like, I feel a bit gypped, because honestly, I do. I genuinely feel bad. Yeah, the other thing I was feeling bad about is like for people who didn't win the competitions. I put a audio story in the video notes. This right now it's a Sapphire and Steel one. When I get my active, I'm going to change it for a Judge Dredd one. These are produced by Big Finish. They're out of license. They're out of print. You cannot get them anymore. So download them here. If they ever get the license back, go ahead and buy yourself a digital copy. Is what I'll suggest. Fine. Blimey, 6 minutes 43 seconds in, and we're just getting to the bloody article. Let's have a look. See what it's got to say. Okay, let's go over here. Doctor Who, the 10 worst things the 13th Doctor has done so far. So far, yeah, I guess so. He's still got the Christmas special to go. Listen, do you think we're seeing Doctor Who in before 2022? I don't know. Listen, I think it could be getting cancelled. I really do. I don't know, but look, it's just very expensive to produce now. Making it under the pandemic guidelines just makes the budget go through the roof. And when they make it, if you have like media, friendly media outlets at Screen Rant that are going to rank on you, it's going to be the kid that people like to pick on in the schoolyard. It's going to be really bad. So if they go to this extra expense and extra trouble making it, they're just going to get their asses handed to them. It's like, I can really see it getting cancelled. I can see it not getting cancelled as well, to be honest with you. I mean, either way, I think it's going on a longest hiatus, which is good news for me. Anyway, fine, let's read this article. The 13th Doctor was cheerful, funny. Okay, she was cheerful in a way that a blithering idiot is. Is kind of cheerful. Yeah, there's a great scene in Game of Thrones when you got the Lannisters, Tyrion, and Kingslayer, and they're talking about this idiot cousin they have who used to like smash bugs. That's kind of yeah. He sounded happy, same way he sounded cheerful, same way that Jodie's Doctor is cheerful. She's cheerful in that she's a moron. And this is not a piece of hate towards Jodie Whittaker. Although I don't think she's very clever. I mean, I've never met her. No, but she's certainly playing the Doctor as a moron. Cheerful, funny, never been funny. She's never been funny. And a whole lot of fun to be around. No, she's terrifying. This is the first TARDIS I would never get into because you are going to get killed. You are certainly going to get killed. This doesn't mean that she didn't have a dark moments. Yeah, dark moments were from the moment she regenerated to present. Yeah, so let's have a look. She doesn't look happy about this article. In the summer 2017, a very special trailer was released, and that's the trouble, calling it a very special trailer, revealing the identity of the 13th Doctor. To everybody's surprise, the next actor to play the Doctor was Jodie Whittaker, the first ever woman to canonically take on the role of the most famous time-traveling alien world. Yeah, they did it. Joanna Lumley played her in The Curse of Fatal Death, and Big Finish had, was it Arbella Weir, I think is the name. I honestly, none of them really worked, but I said this one really worked the absolute least. When I first saw it, I was like, oh dear. This was about for like 10 minutes. No, 10 minutes, about 10 seconds. I went, oh dear, is this political correctness gone mad? And then, I'm not exaggerating, this was my thought process. No, that can't be. Look, Chris Chibnall and Jodie Whittaker are seasoned professionals. They're going to do a great job. They're going to do a great job. And I was excited by the time it started. And it took me to after Arachnids in the UK, actually, before I went, oh, this is just not very good. It was after Arachnids in the UK, I said, look, anyone can have a bad episode. But, then it just started, oh, my God, the wheels came off the wagon very, very quickly. Viewers couldn't wait to see the new Doctor in action. Yeah, that's true. That was me. And certainly she didn't disappoint. How do you mean didn't disappoint? Again, I'll point out she's lost 70% of her freaking audience. If that doesn't disappoint you, you don't get disappointed. What does she have to do at that point to go to disappoint you? Does she have to go and literally start eating babies in the middle of the street? I mean, really? What does she have to do at that point to disappoint? If utter failure isn't disappointing to you, okay? The incarnation was cheerful, no, a moron. Funny, no, and a whole lot of fun to be around. No, she wasn't. However, they just said this. There were dark moments, and there have been instances in her first 2 seasons in which the Doctor committed questionable acts. Now, I'm gonna say, okay, the worst thing for me is when she was the antithesis of heroic, right? The absolute antithesis of what it was to be a hero, and she wasn't able to inspire, to lift up Graham when he said he was scared that his council was going to match. She didn't have the capacity to do that. So that for me was the worst one, but that wasn't the worst thing she did. I think the worst thing she did was when Captain Jack traveled through time and said, do not under any circumstances give the lone Cyberman the Siberian. Don't do it because it will result in the death of humanity. So it seemed to me but that when she did meet the lone Cyberman, which was I'll tell you, I want to give praise where I can give praise. Great design, intriguing villain. I wish he lived up to the intrigue. Wish it had the payoff as well, but they weren't. So anyway, when the time came, when the time came and she encountered the lone Cyberman, and then give me the Imbeer, and she's like, okay then, and she gave it, and she said, don't worry, I'm gonna sort it out. I've got a plan. I'll work it out somehow. And then she didn't. And then next episode, the Cyber War was over and all of humanity was killed. They had 8 people left, right? That's called a failure, okay? The cyber ships had thousands of Cybermen, which means they won. They destroyed humanity. They said, they went through this weird boundary to this other place, which turned out to be Gallifrey. But did they all go together? None of this was explained, because none of this mattered. All of this is about setting up the mic drop, the gasp moment, and none of it paid off or explained. And so that I think destroying humanity, destroying the entire human race was the worst thing that she's ever done. So let's say number 10, she indirectly caused Grace's death. God, I can't even remember back there. Okay, although this wasn't really even the Doctor's fault, this tragic event showed just how dangerous being friends with the Time Lord could be. Hasn't been until now. Excuse me. It was fine. Bystanders normally survived, and the Doctor made sure they survived. To make matters worse, Grace could have been a great companion. Yeah. Wait. God. Did you not have any editors there? Could have been a great companion. No, great companion. But she never got a fair chance. Yeah, she was killed in the first episode. And listen, I'll say this is something good I'll say about Chibnall. It set up a good arc for Graham in that first season, right, where he wanted revenge and he had to go. And I think that was really sold by Bradley Walsh's acting. I think that was the most compelling part of season 11 for me. Anyway, I think for most, it was the first time 13th Doctor met her companions. They faced off against Tim Short. What a terrible, lame villain, and ultimately defeated, but not before taking Grace's life. You gotta really be careful about taking positive characters' lives in Doctor Who, right? It's real. You gotta do it for a reason. And at the time, I thought, again, setting up this motivation for Graham was good, but in hindsight, I don't know. They were Russell T Davies. I know for Moffat to a certain extent as well. was very, very careful about that. If Grace had never met the Doctor, she would have most likely lived a long and happy life. Yeah, 100%. I can't even remember how she got killed, but she got killed like being wrapped up with the Doctor. She kidnapped the commanders and took them to a dead planet. Actually, it was worse than that. She didn't intentionally kidnap them. She screwed up, which is Tom Baker had a scarf. She had screwing up. Screwing up is her thing. She's great at screwing up. So she screwed up, and then they all got teleported into space. Where they all should have died. That was actually a good cliffhanger. I like that cliffhanger. I thought it was good. I just didn't realise that being a screw-up, being an idiot, was the 13th Doctor's raison d'etre at the time. It's just not. It's still insane to me that this is the world we live in. Anyway, let's hear what they got to say. At the end of the 13th Doctor, the first ever show, she was gearing up to find her lost TARDIS while saying goodbye to her 3 new friends. She, also known as her fam. However, as per usual, the Doctor's hastily built gadget malfunctioned. Not as per usual. Again, yeah, sometimes the Doctor's gadgets don't work, they misfire, they malfunction, but they don't teleport friends into bloody space. Well, and look, that they weren't killed is somewhat ridiculous, so okay. It took the Doctor and friends and then transported them into the future and into space, literally. Thankfully, the gang were all saved and taken to it. Yeah, saved in an incredibly impossible way to a nearby planet, cheerfully known as Desolation. This was definitely a rough start to their travels with the Doctor, but it's kind of indicative of what was to come. Number 8. She took her friends to 1950s America. Listen, idiots. Yeah, I understand. America had systemic and endemic racism 70 years ago. That's an entire generation, an entire lifetime ago. 70 years ago. But that didn't mean that if you weren't white, if you weren't a white male, it was dangerous to be there. That didn't mean... I mean, yes, if you walk around like you're in 2020 and 1950, you are going to get your ass handed to you. But, it's not... Again, this isn't like sending a Jew to Berlin in 1932, okay? Get a freaking grip, morons. Firstly, Rosa was probably the best episode of season 11. I mean, they're all so bad. It's just hard to try and think. I think the episode 2, The Ghost Monument, was the best one of that season. Because again, I just don't know if I didn't realize how awful she'll be by that time. But that for me was I think the best episode seen. It dealt with extremely serious and sensitive topics in a mature way. And it didn't shy away from the horrific attitudes displayed more openly at the time. Not more openly at the time, openly at the time. There is this fantasy that people who like this Doctor Who live in, that we live in a racist, intrinsically racist world. No, we don't. No, the Western world is not an intrinsic racist world. The biggest flare-up of racism that I have ever experienced in my lifetime has been anti-Semitism from the left wings of society that came into the mainstream of the left wing and was virulent. I'm sorry, that's the and all the people who scream about racism, they scream about, again, the current president of the United States, they scream about the Prime Minister of England, the government, about how racist they are. Every one of them, to a man, supported these people and turned around and told the Jews. The Jews, by the way, are very fractious people. Being a rabbi, I can tell you this. Yeah, Jews, by the way, are very fractious people. I've never seen such unity in the Jewish community in my life. Never seen such incredible unity where we said, look, guys, this guy's a bit of a racist, pointing at the leader of the Labour Party. This guy's a bit of a racist. I don't think you should be... And you know what they did? They all turned around to us and said, no, you're lying. You're making it up. You're stupid. You're being manipulated by the media. No. He was... Okay, anti-Semitism has a definition, and a very clever definition, a very thoughtful definition that allows you to have legitimately criticize Jewish borders, like Israel. It allows legitimate criticism without calling it anti-Semitism. What it doesn't do is illegitimate criticism. Like, say if you walk around saying, how many babies did you kill, Jew, to somebody who lives in Israel, like that's anti-Semitic. So anyway, so the biggest flare-up of racism was that, and I tell you. Well, other than being, very, very heartbreaking. It was heartbreaking. It's to see not to see a racist come to power like that, but to see his supporters engaging in this disgusting racism, with him, because it's so it was heartbreaking. But it was the British public did quite roundly hand his ass to him, right? It was the biggest defeat they've ever had. And this was like after defeat after defeat. It's just as heartbreaking as it was to see him rise to power and be supported openly. It was life affirming, heartwarming to see how the British public said no to this racist. Just in the same way they said no to the anti-Semites in like the 1930s in Brick Lane. I tell you, I'm always gonna have Britain's back because of that. I really am. Anyway, so the 1950s America. This entry is more about the narrative point of view. This episode was solely designed so people could go, oh, this is very stunning, very brave. And honestly, it wasn't a very good episode. Bottom line, it could have been much, much better. The villain was just too weak, two-dimensional. The villain was like, oh, I don't like black people. They got too uppity. So I'm going, but okay. If you can find somebody who thinks that way, they're gonna be in an insane asylum. That's not a normative point of view. That's certainly not a point of view of people who, again, support the current president of the United States or the current voter for the government in England right now. Yeah, nobody thinks that way. Nobody thinks this way. Again, nobody's saying. The TARDIS can travel anywhere in space and time, so it was slightly strange that the Doctor took her fam to 1950s America. It wasn't strange. Again, they were virtue signaling. It wasn't strange at all. Where racism was prevalent and accepted in everyday life. It's an important part of history, but definitely a poor choice to a place to take her friends. And the reason they did it is because they were saying, see, nothing's changed, which is it's such a disgusting, disingenuous lie. She let a lot of villains go, including, in that Paul Cornell story, the terrible sequel to, was it Family of Blood, Human Nature, when at the end of that, there's a psychopathic superpowered killer who took the form of a little girl, and the Doctor banished her to inside a mirror so she couldn't hurt anyone unless she repented, unless she said, I take back, I will not be a psychopathic killer. Until Jodie's Doctor came along and said, oh, that makes me feel a bit bad, this makes me feel a bit socially awkward, and she took a hammer, boom, let her out, and dropped her off in a highly populated area. Because she's a moron! She is a moron. One of the biggest and more annoying problems with the 13th Doctor era so far is that the villains often escape without any fear of retribution. In only the Doctor's fourth episode, the primary villain, Robertson, the Trumper-like, right, walked away without escape. Because he didn't do anything! He was doing, like, nuclear waste dumping, and then she also, like, let these giant spider just die. And she's useless! She's just useless. The train continued into the 12th season where the secondary antagonist, Daniel Barton, walked away unnoticed after literally trying to take over the whole world. I thought he was going to be arrested for wasn't he revealed or something? Really? Honestly, these episodes are so badly written and so poorly put together. I just kind of zone out. And it was really hard to review them. I tell you, by the time I got to third or fourth episode in the second season, in season 12, I had to review them, and I kept falling asleep. I fell asleep through every episode. I had to wake up and rewatch, and I had to write everything down because it's so boring and inconsequential. Daniel Barton, by the way, that confrontation she had with Lenny Henry's villain in was it Spyfall, where she was like, like she's trying to be all tough to him, and like if he really was a supervillain, he would just have her killed. You know, it's like she was utterly useless and so non-intimidating. She's just so badly cast. I mean, really, it's not really fair, but she's just so badly cast. Again, walked away. For whatever reason, this doctor doesn't want to enact her own form of justice. She wants like social justice. Okay, what she wants to do is feel good about herself. That's what all of these like blue checkmark Twitterati want to do. They want to feel good about themselves. They don't really care about any of the causes they scream about. They don't really care about trans people, right? They don't, even though they oh my god, that's the biggest deal to them in the whole world. They don't really care. All they care about is screaming at people so they feel good about themselves. It's much in the same way in Resolution when Jodie's doctor met Ryan's father. What was his name? She just was like very, very wanted everybody to see her talk down to him and say, "Oh, you're a bad man, I don't like you." Whereas Graham who has a lot more reason to not like him, to have animosity, saw the best thing for Ryan was to open the door and talk to him, right? Because he's a better person than the doctor. Not good. She forced Graham away from Grace. I mean, she did cause Graham to have this existential meltdown over season 11. In the 9th episode of season 11, Dr. Yaz and Graham and Ryan encountered a lonely girl living on her own. This was a terrible episode. Whose father had gone missing. It transpired the girl's dad had found his way to a parallel universe created by a giant frog. No, a giant frog. A frog. A bad frog. Was it CGI or was it? I didn't remember. It being crap. It was horrible. Where his wife was still alive. When the doctor and gang went after him, Graham discovered that Grace was alive. In reality, Grace was just an extension of the entity known as the Solitract, the frog, the Hypnotoad. But Graham couldn't leave Grace again. The doctor basically forced him into reliving his wife for the second time. Didn't see past the Master's new disguise. In all fairness, none of them do. Yeah, really? That's not a bad thing she did. And look at her. Okay, that's how crap this article is. I'm defending Jodie Whittaker's doctor. That's pretty bad. It's been established that the Doctor's greatest foe, the Master, has always had a penchant for disguise. He has indeed. For example, the female incarnation of the Doctor went by the name of Missy to conceal her identity from the Doctor. But I always assumed there was a little bit more going. See, okay, here's the problem we have to Missy. And I love Michelle Gomez's Missy. I really enjoyed it. I think it's a really authentic portrayal of that character of the Master. I totally buy her being the same person as Delgado and Ainley. Yeah, I totally buy it. I think she did a really good job with it. However, if it's like completely normative for Time Lords to regenerate, to switch gender when they regenerate, as has been established, in the Capaldi is. And to a certain extent, with Matt Smith's tenure as well. If there's totally normative been going on forever, I don't know how he couldn't see that this was the Master, right? Why was it a big deal that she did change sex? I thought, and I think just in terms of character, I think that makes sense why Capaldi's Doctor, when he regenerated, wanted a complete renewal, a complete change. So he said, I'll become female as well. I'll change gender. So what I think they should have done, and would have made a lot more sense, is if they said in the past, attitudes were that it was, one didn't change gender when regenerating. Now we're more progressive, we're more liberal, now we do. And then, it could have made a bit more sense, but no, they just, again, it was just a genderizing. I really think this comes mostly from Piers Wenger, who, BBC have this idea that they are the moral backbone of Britain, and they're not. They're a bunch of chummy, lovey lefties who have got on acid, right? Who have just gone like a billion times, over the edge of sanity, for reasons that elude me. But if they would just think about the story and entertaining people rather than edumacating people, if they would just think about that, they might be doing a bit better. They might actually be more influential. But defund the BBC, baby. # defund the BBC. When the Doctor and the Commanders meet Agent O, everything seemed perfectly normal until he revealed himself as the Master, putting Graham... I mean, they could have, like, thrown off a disguise, like, putting Graham, Ryan, and Yaz in grave danger. They're always in grave danger around the Doctor. The Doctor should have recognized the greatest enemy way before the point, before it got to this point. I mean, that is true. I mean, it's not like he pulled off a mask, you know, like he did in Davis and I'm the Master, yeah? He could have done... No. It was just like, oh, by the way, my name's not O, my name's the Master. Yeah, really? It's... it's... a bit strange, but anyway, you know, that one, I'm on Jodie's side on incredibly. Number 4, her superiority complex. I would say her completely undeserved, unearned superiority complex. You see, it's okay to be a bumbling idiot, right? Not really for the Doctor, but it's okay to be a bumbling idiot. I mean, Trousers Doctor pretended to be one, so he wouldn't, he could get past his enemy's defenses, right? But she really isn't bumbling, but it's okay. I can live with that. Some people are idiots, right? Yeah, you have regenerations, one's going to come out stupid. But it's not okay to be a condescending idiot. That's the worst thing. An idiot who acts like they're superior to you just seems like a bigger idiot to me. Sometimes the Doctor is at her best when she's being serious and quiet. She's never at her best. Other times it can be quite difficult to watch. Yes, okay, we're in the same ballpark there. Narratively speaking, when the 13th Doctor got angry, it was always exciting because she usually was so happy and excited. But no, it was so fake. She was like, stretched up a little face. It's like watching if you have kids, it's like watching a toddler when they get mad. They're like, yeah, gonna do this. And she's so ineffectual. However, she tended to direct her anger to the wrong people. For example, the 8th episode as well, after losing to Ashad, the lone Cyberman, the Doctor had a go of Fab explaining why she was in charge and the TARDIS crew was not a democracy. Okay, when they said, Doctor, didn't you just destroy humanity? And she said, make me feel a bit socially awkward. I'm in charge, mate. I'm in charge. Icky thump. Get me some black bloody pudding. She got her friends caught up in the cyber war. Didn't get friends caught up. She got humanity caught up in the cyber war. In the penultimate episode of Doctor Who's 12th season, was an extremely exciting episode. It wasn't a bad episode. No, it was a bad episode. I take it back. It wasn't as excruciatingly bad as other episodes. I like the Cybermen design. I do like the Cybermen design. Even like the cyber ships. I like the funny like arm control-y things. I thought they were kind of cool. Yeah, I liked all that. I just think she's terrible in everything. It's only idea which set up perfectly for the big finale that destroyed Doctor. That broke Doctor Who. It broke fandom. People under. I can't wait for them to do a season 13 for it to come back and get ranked. Please, because you know the more it's on TV, the more it gets the piss taken out of it. I just can't wait to see it happen. One of the reasons for this was it was so entertaining because it was actually incredibly tense. Following the events of the previous episode, the Doctor and her fam ended up in the middle of the cyber war. And one of the most dangerous places in the universe. Sure enough, the group became separated, and the gang truly had to fight to survive. Yeah, and why was she there? Because she did exactly the thing Captain Jack told her not to do. Her prejudices. Now that was that's an interesting one. Listen. She's the people who like this era. Predominantly on Twitter are cruel and cowardly. Predominantly, they are massive cowards and they're just horrible human beings. They will lie and they will say whatever they say that you're doing that's intolerable, that they can't live with, is really what they're doing. You know, they're just the worst people. That I think humanity is everybody the most pathetically worst people. And so, yeah, she's adored by that group of people because I think they see themselves reflected in her. But, yeah, her prejudices. Let's see what they have to say. For the most part, the 13th Doctor is incredibly open-minded and optimistic. No, really? Let's see her go to a Trump convention and be nice to people and treat people. Now, I will point out that there was a 6th Doctor story from Big Finish that came out a few months ago called... I can't remember. It was the one set at the end of World War II with 6th Doctor, Flip, and Constance, and you know you had the defeated Germans, and they went to pains to say that these Germans, people who were soldiers for the National Socialists. Did quite a lot of bad things. Naughty people. Were all human beings, and some were good, some were bad. That they were able to have that kind of nuance in that, right? But they're not. They've never had that kind of nuance to people who don't share their same political outlook, right? They just don't. I'm sorry. The show is hateful for people who towards people who don't share their outlook. So she's not open-minded at all, excuse me, and optimistic, and trying to make everything in the universe seem fun and cheerful. Idiot. However, there were occasions throughout her 2 current seasons where the viewers got a glimpse at all the atrocities she had witnessed. In season 11's episode, DJ Punjab, God, so boring and preachy. I don't know. The Doctor discovered the presence of the Thijarians. Oh God, can Chris Chibnall write a bloody alien name which doesn't sound stupid? Who were formerly known as the most dangerous assassins in the universe. However, the Doctor never stopped to consider that they changed and blamed them for the deaths until she was proven wrong. She's always been wrong. She's an idiot. I mean, like, just that's who she is. I have a theory that the other Doctors spend their time cleaning up after the many disasters that she causes. I really do. I mean, that would make a lot of sense. Number one, her worst thing she does is she's too nice. No, she's too stupid. Admittedly, this thing's a bit of an odd entry because he can't be critical of the Holy Jodie. The Holy Jodie, oh, she should use that more often. But certainly during her first season, the Doctor never really got an opportunity to develop an edge. Yeah, that's true. All versions of the Doctor must be likable, but at the same time, the Doctor has witnessed a lot of awful lot of destruction. It's not an edge. It's not an edge. They got to feel like they have a backbone, a metal to stand up against evil. Seth McCoy talked about that in his interview process when he was auditioning for the role. You can see it on, I think it's the Twin Dilemma DVD, which the story not very good, but that extra quite interesting. So you have his audition footage, and there was one specifically written to highlight his ability to show metal, to show strength in the face of evil, which Jodie just doesn't have. She's a Karen. I'm sorry, she's a Karen. Want to speak to your manager. She wants to speak to human resources. Yeah, again, her face off with Lenny Henry was just embarrassingly bad. It really was. It was embarrassing. It must be like a lot of deduction. Throughout season 11, it was as if she forgot all about her pain. As a result, the Doctor came across as slightly too happy. It's not too happy. Okay, she came across as somebody. Jodie Whittaker played her as if she had no idea what the character was like, because she had no idea what the character is like. That's really just the bottom line. She has no freaking idea what the character was like, because she didn't go back and watch any character. It was very indicative when you saw her talk about her playing the role. Said, well, there's no preparation you could do, because that is just silly, isn't it? It doesn't. Pointing a sonic screwdriver, it's not real. Yeah, no. Your job as an actress to find the authenticity in the piece. If you can't do that, you can't take the role. And she has not found the authenticity in the piece. All she's found is that she's excited that she feels that she's going to inspire a whole generation of young girls to throw off their, whatever they want to do and go into STEM subjects, right? That's what she wanted. Unfortunately, it didn't work. You know why it didn't work? Because nobody's watching this, because nobody likes it. Throughout season 11, it was as though she had forgotten all about pain. As a result of being slightly too happy, the Doctor needs an edge to be believable. No, Doctor needs to be believable. The actor playing the Doctor needs to find the authenticity in the role to convincingly play it. Like any role. Need to find the authenticity. But then she doesn't feel it needs authenticity because she feels it's a silly children's program. And she can't work out why anybody would like it. But she does like a lot that those evil white males are very upset with her performance. She feels that she's doing a great job because of that. And thankfully, she found hers in the following. No, she didn't. Again, absolutely didn't. So there you go. Screen Rant's top 10 worst things this Doctor has done. It will be different from my list. My name is Sheila Bacon, the Rabbi for Another Planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.
Yeah!